Welcome to OK Art. I'm Kay. Today will be part 2 of finishing the pencil layer of my dragon eye from Kerby Rosanes' Worlds Within Worlds. In part 1 we did inside the eye. The only thing I've changed off camera is I darkened the sides. If you hear noise in the background, the kids have a snow day. Anyways, and now we're going to use these 3 colors to do the scales. Let me get you to the overhead position. Okay, and here we are overhead. Let me just make sure. Okay, I think we're going to start. Why don't we start here? So I'll zoom in a little bit closer to where we'll actually be working. And once again, for the scales we're using, let me get the colors out. 1030, which is raspberry. What else? 926, which is carmine red, and 928, which is blush pink. We're going to start with the raspberry. I'm going to sharpen it real fast. Okay, so let me just, okay. All right, so from this part, all this is going to be darker, so I'm not going to worry about shading the individual scales right here. I'm just going to darken this up a bit. Okay, then here where the scales are, here with this one, we're gonna go in at the very base of each one and give it some depth. Okay. Right here where it like goes down farther, I obviously shade that one a bit more. And I'm not gonna worry about getting into the crease of the book right now. Okay, and then the shadow around each one, I'm also just going to use the darker color for at the base of each horn. And I'm just using like a medium pressure. I'm still a little bit under the weather, so I'm sorry if I don't talk too much. what is the weather like where you live. We had snow, and where I grew up, it would be completely normal, like to have way more snow than what we have right now. But for snow to even stick in the Pacific Northwest of the US it's a pretty big deal. So everything's closed. All the kiddos get to stay home from school and have a snow day. Okay, so there's that, and then go back to the scales and this shading here. I'm going to pause, get this section done up here, and this shading here. And I will unpause and bring you back as I do the next part. Okay, so I went ahead and did that all the way across. It looks a little bit messy, but when we put our medium color in, we'll fix that up. So now I'm going to sharpen this first of all. Grab my Carmine Red, which, it's weird, I thought I chose pink to, oh, it looks pink. That's what happened. Okay. Here we are. Come on. There we go. And this is our mid-tone. So let me just adjust this, make sure. Okay. So first I'm gonna bring it up a little bit on these shadowed parts down here. And then at the base of each one, little like circle type movements, bringing the shadow up a little higher. This might turn out more red than I was hoping, but that'll be okay. Okay, and then also anywhere that this shadow is, I'm just lightly going over it and bringing it up a little bit higher than it already was. Just a little bit. Same with all this, just bringing it out like the tiniest more. Tiniest bit more, there we go. Just for a smoother shadow transition. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of shading right here, but that's fine, I'll come back to it. So basically just little circles around the perimeter of all these shadows. All right, and then we're gonna go and bring up the shading with the scales. So you're gonna bring it up a considerable amount, or I'm going to bring it up. There we go. Just leaving a little bit there for the highlight. The highlight will also clean up a lot of this. Oh, it's snowing again outside. My son has his friend over. They're upstairs playing right now, banging around. So if her dad gets here to pick her up, or if they come down needing a snack, I will have to pause recording. Okay. Thinking I might pause. No, let's get more of this done before I pause to do off camera, but my husband's gonna be walking in any minute now. So if that ends up on the recording. My problem is I keep forgetting to sharpen, and then the lines get a bit messier than I would like them to be. Alright, now I think I'm going to pause the recording and finish to the end of the page off camera, and then we'll come back, do the highlights, and then around the eye is the other part that I'll record. Alright, 1 second. Okay, and then I have all the mid-tones down, so then we're using our highlight color, which is 928 Blush Pink. There we go. And for this part, we just bring it on the end, and then try to blend that in to the mid-tone, and even to the shadow color. And for this, I'm using hard pressure. The rest was like a hard medium. And then I'll kind of smush all the colors together. If you hear beeping, it's just baby monitor. So we just smush it in like so, and then we're gonna do that all the way across, and you'll notice that it smooths everything out. Where it looks real rough right here and it looks smoother right here is because we've smushed all the colors together, since Prismacolors are soft core. It makes it easier to do that with, or possible at all to do that with. And this will also bring the pink out instead of keeping it red, or how it was looking more red than down here. It'll bring the pink back into the picture. In this one, I remember to sharpen before I started recording. Okay. Oh, let me turn the volume off on the... There we go. Alright, and then I will bring you back and we will do here around the eye with the shading and stuff. See you in a second. Okay, and here we have done the entire way across. Let me zoom out. And here it is compared to what we haven't done in pencil yet. Now on camera, I'm going to do the shading here, the heavier shading around the eye. So let's zoom, whoa. Hello, not that far. Let's see if I can do this a little better. There we go. I feel like that is good. Let me just do a little bit of minor adjusting. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna use the darkest color, 1030. Ta-da! Raspberry. And I'll start with these little cornery bits. So for this, it's gonna be pretty dark. So we're just gonna use hard pressure right here. Maybe just like the slightest bit right here, leaving that and going over that lightly instead of using our heavy pressure. Okay, and then over here, move stuff out of the way. On this side, we're gonna start up here, coming down. I'm using like a light pressure right here. Then heavy pressure. Coming down to accentuate the lines right here. Sorry, that beeping is just the baby monitor telling me there's movement in there. I guess let me turn off motion detection right now, because I do not need that right now. All right, there we go. And coming down right here as well. Let me sharpen this up a little bit because that was an oopsie. I meant for that to be much thinner. There we go. Okay. Then let me make sure this is still on camera. Yep. Okay. Here we're gonna use hard pressure around this line here, and then light to medium pressure, I'd say. Medium pressure all the way down to here, and then hard pressure here. And getting right up to the line, and I'm leaving a little, like the tiniest of spaces right there. Then shading within this part. And we're gonna bring that up. And then bring it underneath this line here. And over here, we're doing hard pressure on the bottom because apparently I forgot to do that part. Okay, and then to finish off this corner with our darkest color, at least, using hard pressure going all the way into that corner, and then medium pressure coming out to light pressure right around here. Okay, and then for this corner, we're gonna, there's a little triangle here, that's all hard pressure. And then this little like half moon here is hard pressure, along with this here, but then we're gonna use like a medium pressure to bring it up where you see the pre-shaded lines. And then we're gonna go right over the top of the eye with the medium pressure as well. Then right here is hard pressure, because you can tell that's a new line. We want to make sure that that's separated. We're going to hard pressure underneath it and then go to a lighter touch right here. And then let me just make sure, am I still, yep, okay. For this part, we're going to use hard pressure. Anywhere where the lines are close together, that's showing you that, I mean, it's kind of just a built-in guide for how to shade. I mean, there's also other shading that you do a little bit outside of that, but very baseline shading, you can just follow where the lines are close together. You're going to use harder pressure with your dark color, and then shadows don't harshly stop, so you just kind of feather it out with the lighter pressure. Coming back here, I'm going to bring it down this way. And then underneath this line here, oh, sharpening time. Underneath this line here, I'm using hard pressure and then bringing it out with a medium pressure. And here you can see there's some different shading that's kind of overlapping in different directions. That's because of this ridge coming here, meeting up with a shading from these horns. And give me 1 second to do this part. Okay, I'm gonna shade underneath these thorns up here, which I'm doing the same thing as I did up above here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording and then we'll come back and finish this. Okay, now we have all that shading done. So now we're using our mid-tone. And oof, with the mid-tone, hold on, I can't quite see because there we go. I'm gonna come in and expand some of the shading a bit first and foremost. The fire is blazing away. If you hear popping, it's just a fireplace. And also come in to this harsher shading and feather it out just like a bit. There'll be a little bit of highlight left right here, so I'll leave that, and then a little bit of highlight right there at the edge of that. Okay, and give me 1 second. I need to tell my boys to calm down. Okay, they were wrestling. Okay. Again, we're just using like a medium, some medium light pressure to kind of feather the edges of the shading out. For the parts around these horns also, using a little bit rougher shading than I am down here. Just because it's a harsher line. And this whole section I don't think is going to have any of the highlight colors, so I'm just going to come in. And I might go over this part again with the darker color after I get the mid-tone color laid down. Okay, and then here where it's the lighter shading, I'm going to come in with the mid-tone as well. I'm going to leave room for an obvious highlight right here and on the very top of this bottom one. So here and here, I'm going to add some highlight, but not inside here. So the inside here part, I'm going to use the mid-tone for and bring it up into here. Okay, then on this side, I haven't blended this part out yet. So we'll blend this part out. And oh, and up here. And for this part, I am leaving room for highlight here and possible highlight at the top part of this bridge here. I'm not sure. I might just leave it like that with the marker showing through instead of adding a pencil highlight. Okay, I think, wait, hold on. I think it's time to add the highlight color to this section. Because I'm not gonna shade the individual scales of this specific section. I'm just gonna hope some of that shading will come from the marker layer underneath. That's kind of why I like using a marker layer. Hold on. And okay, I think that is it for this mid-tone. I say as I keep using it. Okay, let's grab our highlight color and sharpen it. I'm really liking this part right now. All right, it's sharpened. Now the parts we know for sure need a highlight is this inside part here and this line that's coming down, and then it's going to split off, and I'm going to do a skinny little highlight here and bring it down and highlight at the very top of this part as well. There we go. And then, oh, and then this skinny highlight right in there. And the top of that shape and the bottom of that shape. Okay, then this right here, I'm also going to use my blush pink to accentuate that that is a highlight section. And this part here. And there's like a skinnier highlight that I want going on here. I'll bring it into right there. And then a wider highlight as it comes this way. And we'll have this whole section here be highlight too. When I say highlight, I mean the blush pink. I like working in sets of 3 so that I can distinguish what is my highlight, midtone, and shadow color the easiest. Okay, I like that, I think. And then we'll come here, do this little ridge there. Maybe even a little bit over top of these colors here. And then bring this highlight up and also blend into the midtone that we laid down. And then you'll see that a lot of the shading that I already done with the marker does shine through, so there we go. Then this part here also, we're gonna go up and then let it get dark there. And then bring it all right here, dragging from this shadow to this shadow, just kind of tying it together. And then the very top of this one will also, I'm off the camera. Okay, hold on, let me adjust you. Okay, so I have not done the shadow part on the bottom of here yet, but I do know that this top part is going to be highlight. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight anyways. And then if I need to come back and work backwards to get it to blend better, I will. Let me know down in the comments, do you mind that I was pausing to do different things, complete different things off camera? I thought it would bring down the video length a little bit and make it easier to follow. Yeah, just let me know. All right, so here's what I'm going to do now. Let's see, why don't we, yeah, you can see the difference and why I do go in with pencil. From here down is still just marker, and here up, at least the scales and the eye have the pencil layer, and it looks so much more put together. So now I think what I'm going to do is let you know that I will be completing this bottom section right now of the scales, but I will do it in time-lapse form on my shorts. This will be the end of my long form video for today. I hope that you liked part 2 of the pencil layer. I'm really happy with how it's coming together. Let me know what you think down in the comments and if you would have done anything differently. Part 3 will be us doing the pencil layer for the horns, and that should be that. We also might in part 3 add some of the finishing little touches here and there when it comes to like highlights and stuff like that. All right, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, leave a like on this video, especially if you have gotten this far, and be sure to comment your thoughts on how it's coming along so far. Thank you so much. Have a good day.